It is a good-looking Monday morning. Welcome to Morning Prime. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you so much for joining us. How was your weekend? I trust that it was one that was filled with lots of laughter, relaxation. Maybe some of you had to work a little bit. Yes, we know how that goes. But I hope that you took the time out to just, take some time. Check yourself, find yourself, exhale, inhale, all that good stuff, and enjoy the weekend for what it is. Morning Prime is all things Trinbago, all things Caribbean, and all things you. Of course, we've got a beautiful lineup. And when I say beautiful, I'm talking about Zomari Tanka, I'm talking about Carlette Holder, I'm talking about Athalia Samuel. Ashlia is a little bit under the weather, and I have to share this with you. For some strange reason, almost all of the Morning Prime crew got some sort of bug this weekend. Everyone was throwing up, and yeah. So it was a little bit unfortunate, but I think Ashlia got the worst end of the stick. And Ashlia, we really hope that you get well soon. We look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, all bubbly and bouncy. So let me give you an idea as to what's coming up on this morning show. I've got Warren LaPlatte. He is standing by in the wings. He's coming on this morning. We've got Dr. Bo Sharma and Mr. Jai Rampasad coming on as well. Dean Williams, guitarist, former Ecstatic, he should be here. Tracy Hutchinson Wallace, she's going to talk about, making sure that persons who don't have a roof over their heads, they are assisted in some way, some form or fashion, and a whole lot more. So I'd like you to keep it right here. Remember, Morning Prime, you can check us out on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we're also on Instagram, Morning Prime TT. I could tell you all about what took place this weekend, but you know what? All of that is coming up in the show. We've got news headlines at 9 o'clock and so much more. So stay right here. This is Morning Prime.
Fridays, join us for Test Talk as we look at opportunities for students and adults after they have pursued secondary education. Join moderator Tony Dial and the panel of professionals as they discuss the many opportunities for tertiary education and skills training available to you. Don't miss Test Talk, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4, Our TV.
Psychology is a lived experience, and responding to daily challenges in a positive manner is a method for success. Tune into Psychology Live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. with host Dr. Keith Lee Kwai as we share tips and wellness skills for living in our fast-paced and connected world. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Call in to share your thoughts and views. No stigma, no negative stereotypes, just Psychology Live on TV4, Our TV.
Tuesdays, join us for Lowy Talk, a riveting entertainment talk program on TV4. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Tweet the panel at Our TV4, #Lowy Talk, or call in and share your views. Come, Lowy Talk on Lowy Talk, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4.
We at TV4 believe that sport is not getting the media platform it deserves. Hence the reason we came up with 4 Sports. I'm Wayne Cunningham.
And I'm Gregory McBurney. Are you tired of seeing 5 minutes of sports crammed into a newscast? That's why we here at TV4 dedicate an entire half hour to sport. In-depth analysis, highlights, and even discussion of a trending topic.
4 Sports, weeknights from 7:30 p.m. right here on TV4.
Fridays, join us for Test Talk as we look at opportunities for students and adults after they have pursued secondary education. Join moderator Tony Dial and the panel of professionals as they discuss the many opportunities for tertiary education and skills training available to you. Don't miss Test Talk, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4, Our TV.
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Prime. Athalia and I are now joined by photographer Warren LaPlatte. Warren, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, we laugh because, you know, a lot of us, we really not feeling well, but I'm thankful that I'm here today. And of course, Ashley, I hope you do feel better because, you know, the bug is really getting to us.
Yes.
So, Warren, tell us something about what you do because, I mean, I think this is a very, very interesting gesture. So, give us a little insight on what you do and what you want Trinidad and Tobago to find out.
Well, I do a little bit of a lot of things. So, I'm a trained graphic designer, photographer, illustrator. I also lecture part-time.
In the same field?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And recently, I've added another hat to the rack, so board game developer.
Fantastic. And all of that, what I like is that everything sort of goes
in
the same, everything is in the same sort of circle, if you want to call it that. So you can do a lot of your own work. You take your photographs, do the artwork,
do the layout.
take it from one stage, the layout one stage to the next, and sort of have that creative control.
Yeah,
so why a game though? Because I just think that's interesting. And we're still at a carnival game. I think everybody would burning fingers in a game wheel.
I love my culture. More so carnival, because that's what I came up in. Used to play mass as a child, was involved in mass as a young adult, helping to design.
As a young adult?
Well,
you still play mass, Warren?
No, I haven't played for a while.
Photos of the mass.
Yes, taking photos as well as helping to design and construct costumes. You know, so my first experience was in Mincher's Mass Camp making mass. You know, so and then after that with a children's band for a number of years, then an adult band. So I love the carnival. One of the goals that I set for myself was to represent carnival across the broad spectrum. So not just the pretty mass, but you know, there's more.
Because you mentioned children's mass, and children's mass is so creative.
Yes, and there's nothing like working for days on a costume, getting burned with hot glue.
Oh, you don't have to tell me, because my sister, she does traditional mass, and Lord tell me, she goes for days, days trying to make the Dame Lorraine and all the, oh, sure you call the Borokit. She does it by herself, and well, when we're ready, we team up as a family, and we could help her, and even to play the mass. So I know about the days and the burns.
But then you see the thing that you were slaving over on the road, and a little child playing a mass in
and it's worth it.
There's nothing like it.
Wow.
You know? So I try to encourage everybody to work in a mass camp. You know, have that experience. Get burned. It's part of the thing.
But that burning not funny. He just wanted my fingers and I'm just pulpy looking.
Yeah.
So tell me how the funding is for this game though, because I just
want... Well, I am now seeking funding. The game has been in development since last year.
Santimanitay.
Yeah, that
lovely.
Trademark pending.
Okay, that's good.
But yeah, because of how the game is really no mercy, because anything can happen at any time, and it can mash up friendships.
And this, and I game.
Yeah.
So, and this game is centered around carnival in a sense. So this is, and it's from children's mass.
No, it's not like that.
Okay, so tell us exactly what the game is about.
Trying to focus here.
It was a bit hard, get mashed up French.
It can mash up friendship, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about Santimanitay, the board game.
I always had the idea to do a board game. Well, do some kind of game based on carnival. I didn't know what form it would have taken at the time. I got the inspiration last year, and I started working, and it's progressed. So the game has a lot of aspects of Carnival. So you have as trivia, so asking questions about Carnival history, who won the first panorama, that kind of thing.
Oh,
you know,
a nice game.
And it's multiple choice, so you don't have to know. You can still guess and get through.
Okay.
You have different spaces on the board that you can activate. So you have a snow cone space. There's a midnight rubber. You have
so this book is related to this?
No. This is this is
a different project.
A different project.
Oh.
This one has been funded and has been going on for a while. So I've been bringing out, me and a group.
So as you say funded, okay, so this has been out, so the board game itself is still, this is like a prototype?
Yes.
Okay.
The only prototype so far. But I have been getting overwhelmingly positive feedback.
I would suggest so, because I think it's a really good idea, and a lot of people who don't know about our local music or local art and craft or local, say, math, that game to me serves it.
Yeah, yeah.
For locals, you know, for Trinidadians and Tobagonians, or Trinbagonians, should I say, and the people in the Caribbean and globally. I mean, I think it's
that's the goal, to spread the culture and not just one aspect, but to give.
So wanting to touch on your photography, how can people get on to you? Because it seems as though with your photography, you have a lot of the people don't have editing skills as graphics, because I did graphics and a couple of years ago. So I'm good at it still. I'm an art student, so of course. So what happened is that a lot of people don't know how to edit well. So could they get onto you just for the graphics part, or just
edit? I mean, that's some of what I do. I teach as well.
That's the lecturing that you. And
yes.
Where do you lecture?
At SBCS.
Okay. SBCS. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I do a number of different courses at both the Port of Spain and Trinity City campus.
And in terms of photography, your photography services are still wide, or are you more focused in the area of Carnival?
Well, the Carnival is a labor of love for me and the company I have with a bunch of my former classmates from Trinity College. We formed a group about 7 years ago, and we try to document all aspects of Trinidadian culture.
So why the name Santi Manite? Just give me a kind of
well, I mean,
people jump straight into that kind of life when I hear Santi Manite.
It comes from the French sans humanité, without mercy. And that's how the game is.
This is right.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems as though this game has some twists and turns, you know.
Yes, it's reminiscent of ever kind of snakes and laddery kind of vibes.
Oh, so that's why I say you're going to lose some friends.
At any point, you can be brought back to the beginning, whether it's from the board or somebody sending you back.
And then when you stand up on your wine carnival field.
Well, actually, the last play testing that happened, a guy thought he won, and he ran to the corner where there was a potted plant, and he started to whine on it.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah,
so this is a Friday night game. Families can play.
Yes.
There's a competitive aspect.
Very competitive.
Because at any point in time,
anything can
right
happen.
back
anything
to the beginning.
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
gosh.
Yes.
So where are you hoping to, what is the next step with the game?
Yeah.
In terms of bringing it actually to the shelves or the stores?
That is the next step. So I am seeking funding to actually have the game produced. As far as all the research I've done, getting it produced here locally with all of the components is not possible. You know, I'd love to kept everything local.
But
that's the next step, to get it produced and have it on shelves.
Yes, the mass production as a whole other.
Yeah.
So you've done your research and you know what you have to do.
Yes.
But when I think about an element as such, I believe like our cultural aspect and our arts and multiculturalism, even development, should like push something like this, because it is a really good game. I want to play the game.
Well, I mean, I've been getting death threats because
for the game?
Yeah, because I do play testing.
What,
just
seriously?
To make sure. Well, no.
Okay. Just making sure.
But people seeing other people playing the game like, so when I get a chance to play, don't make me hurt you.
Oh, that's what you mean. Right. You get confused about life. But then when you say you get in death.
It's serious, but not that serious.
Oh, okay.
Right. Gotcha.
I would hope that.
It's a game. So that whole competitive aspect is important.
Well, you know what? Zoe Marie, it's on. You need to be boring this game. I
just tell me when and where, and I will be there.
Aye.
With it.
Good.
So before we have to wrap, I want to sort of talk about the magazine. That this is this year's.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about how this magazine was birthed and.
Well, I've been actively photographing Mars since 2007. So I just have the pictures there, and I've always wanted to do a publication. So I said, well, why not? You know, and I'll have the skills. With 16 years in the media, I can do everything that needs to be done for it. So
yes,
me and the guys, we compile the images, we go through and pick which ones, put it together and send it to be printed.
So all okay, so this is yourself and like your colleagues.
You starred in one, actually, 2013.
Really? So this magazine first came out when?
2012.
I mean, look at these beautiful children.
But is it, I started in your magazine? That's what you say?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I need to see this magazine all in a sudden. I want to see. Where I could find this, I could get this.
And it's
everything.
Unlike other publications that I've seen, we try to cover the range. So kiddies mask, pants,
it
stick
does.
fighting,
It's very
traditional.
wide.
I just saw the steel pan and juve.
Yes. So you'll find.
And I have no skills with stick fighting, so you know, seeing it is really good. No.
Stick fighting is a whole, that is a tradition.
We try to give information on all the different aspects, so you'll know what it's about. Because people will see mass and think.
So is there anything else that you want to get out there before you wrap up, Warren? Because, you know, of course, time is of the essence, and this is live TV, because they will cut us.
I just appreciate the chance to come on and, you know, show my wares. So thank you.
And where can people get in touch with you? You have a Facebook page,
I have a Facebook page, Leplat Studios. Website.
Spell Leplat.
Leplatte.
Right. Okay.
I'm on Instagram, same name. Leplatstudios.weebly.com is the website as well.
Lovely. Well, don't go anywhere. Thank you for being with us, Warren.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back on Morning Prime.
We at TV4 believe that sport is not getting the media platform it deserves. Hence the reason we came up with 4 Sports. I'm Wayne Cunningham.
And I'm Gregory McBurney. Are you tired of seeing 5 minutes of sports crammed into a newscast? That's why we here at TV4 dedicate an entire half hour to sport. In-depth analysis, highlights, and even discussion of a trending topic.
4 Sports, weeknights from 7:30 p.m. right here on TV4.
Fridays, join us for Test Talk as we look at opportunities for students and adults after they have pursued secondary education. Join moderator Tony Dial and the panel of professionals as they discuss the many opportunities for tertiary education and skills training available to you. Don't miss Test Talk, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4, Our TV. Tuesdays, join us for Lowy Talk, a riveting entertainment talk program on TV4. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Tweet the panel at Our TV4, #Lowy Talk, or call in and share your views. Come, Lowy Talk on Lowy Talk, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4.
Psychology is a lived experience, and responding to daily challenges in a positive manner is a method for success. Tune into Psychology Live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. with host Dr. Keith Lee Kwai as we share tips and wellness skills for living in our fast-paced and connected world. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Call in to share your thoughts and views. No stigma, no negative stereotypes, just Psychology Live on TV4, our TV.
Good morning, welcome back. You're watching Morning Prime, and of course, we let you see things a little differently. And what do I mean by that? I have two specialists with myself and Zoe Marie this morning discussing animals that can help us see clearly. So, Dr. Sharma and Mr. Rampasad, welcome to Morning Prime. I hope you all get up for good discussion. And for those that are having difficulties with their vision or indeed cannot see, there is a light at the end of the tunnel for us right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Doctor, please tell us exactly what I mean by shedding light on this situation for those that are in the dark.
Thank you. Good morning, and good morning to your viewers out there. In Trinidad, we have quite a lot of visually challenged people. Blind people and people who have lost quite a large percentage of their vision. To help these people, we haven't got a guiding program set up in this country. And so at my clinic at the University of the West Indies Optometry Department, we have set up a low vision clinic. And at that low vision clinic, the visually challenged people come there. Previously, they hadn't got this. And it's a whole new service supported by the ministries. Ministry of the People, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Food Production. And they've been getting service there. We've been assessing their vision, getting them low vision aids, and we have opened up a whole new vista for these people. Now they can actually see where they're going instead of being totally, blind. And so as long as a shaft of light is coming into your eye, we at the clinic there could do something with that bit of light and help you to see. If the eyes are not too much damage at the back. But one of the major way forward is to have a guide dog program developed. In this country, we haven't got that. And in this country, culturally, we are very suspicious of dogs, particularly if they're large dogs, because we've had so many accidents with dogs and so on. But we have liaised with international organizations in Canada, in the UK, in Germany, and they have recommended the Labrador breed dog, which is a true line breed dog, bred dogs. Genetically, they're designed, they're very calm dogs, they train easily, they respond easily, and we have selected those. We've brought in some dogs now into the country. This program was started at University of the West Indies Optometry Department, and I had a program and I got 3 students to work on it with me. And they've done fantastically well because they've registered an NGO now, the Trinidad Tobago Guide Dog Association. And that body is taking everything forward. So these students have raised funds. They've been very enthusiastic. People say young people don't want to do anything. These people have been fantastic, Yeah.
Thank you.
And they've gone out there, they've raised funds, they've spoken to people, they've found sponsors, a host of things that are necessary to be put into place to get the guide dog program off the ground.
And speaking of putting things in place, you're alongside someone who's going to help you do exactly that from the Ministry of Food, is it?
Right. Food production.
That's right, food and production. Now, one would say, well, how does that even intermingle, Zoe Marie? I mean,
it's a good question.
Food, but explain to the viewers exactly how you're doing that.
Yeah, well, what happened from the Ministry of Food Production point of view, it's so important for us, and it's part of the national policy framework where we look at people-centered development, poverty eradication, and social justice. So It's a large part of our society, the differently abled, and the Ministry of Food Production is the lead ministry in terms of rolling out this program. And what we basically help in is the importation of the service dogs through our animal production and health program. Right. In addition, we also, because it's such a huge undertaking, we actually creating these strategic alliances. Right, so we are working, as Dr. Sharma said, with them and UE, the Guide Dogs Association. You know, very important as well is the FCRTT, which is the Federation of Canine Registration of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. Right, and speaking to the president, Mr. Barkley, we're also looking at, in terms of monitoring and certification of all service dogs coming in through them. Right, working with the Blind Welfare Association, and even more importantly, because it's such a huge undertaking, the links with all the other ministries as well, because it is service dog for entry into the public domain. So we are actually creating point people in all other ministries, right, that is actually going to be developing, along with Dr. Sharma's guidance, the infrastructure for this process to actually happen.
A lot of logistics involved, because when I ask you, well, how do you sort of evaluate, because you can evaluate someone who's visually impaired, but how do you determine who gets the guide dog? Well, because if you're only bringing in 10, let's say, for example, and there are 50 people or more, how do you sort of deal with that, with the numbers? That sounds
there are certainly more than 50 people to benefit from it. But the thing is, not everybody would get a guide dog. Not everybody is cut out to live with a dog. Not everybody could be adapted to a dog.
Or wants
so
one.
What we do is that we, whoever expresses an interest, we have an interview with them. It's a whole new process of interviewing them, sensitizing them, telling them what it's all about, telling them how to clean up after the dog, what to do, how it's being done, and everything else. And you'll be amazed that even people who are blind can see to clean up after a dog. And we teach them how to do it and how to feed the dog, how to take care of the dog. So it's a whole new area of endeavor for these visually challenged people.
Yeah, because you're talking about pure independent
of course.
living with the visually impaired person and the new guide dog.
So not everybody will be given a dog. Those who express an interest, or those who think, who we think that would benefit from having a dog, we'll talk to them, interview them, explain to them what it's all about and so on. And if they're willing to go forward, then we take it forward. We introduce them to the dog, and these dogs are well trained. And we show them how to get on with it. And abroad, these people have adapted well. And at any time, if they think that, well, I've had enough and I don't think I'm really fully benefiting for some reason, they can always hand back the dog and take it to somebody else, you see. But right now we have dogs here, we're training dogs. I must say it's a good question you asked, because it's quite a sort of anomaly to have Ministry of Food Production involved in a healthy people social thing. But I must thank the Minister of Food Production, Mr. Devan Maharaj, who took it upon himself, because some of the other ministers, should I get involved, you know, what will my ministry think, what will be the work of the ministry, but he just jumped in and said, right, this sounds good, it's not my area, but I'll get my ministry to look into it, and he did that.
Well, Morning Prime thanks him as well. Thank you for jumping on board.
So I must thank you, Minister Maharaj, I must thank you very much for coming forward. And with that move, the whole program got a lift. And he has organized his ministry. They've gone into changing the laws. He's got cabinet approval, changing the laws, because in public space, dogs are not welcome. In hotels and things like that, dogs are not welcome. And we didn't know this, but at the Hyatt, somebody went to the dog and said, oh, you can't come in here. And then our organization, those 3 students, wrote to Hyatt International in the States, and they said, whatever we allow in the States, we allow any other part of the world. So they must accept your dog.
Very good.
Right, because the people can go with their dogs in a hotel.
Now they can go in there, and other hotels are falling in line.
Nice.
Now they have changed the rules, and guide dogs are now accepted in government buildings. So you can go, if you're going to pay your tax, you're going to driver's license or whatever government service you need. You can take your dog if you have a dog, and they have to allow you to go in there with them.
Minister Rampersad, hear me, Minister Rampersad. Mr. Rampersad.
Yes.
How does that help in some of the challenges in which you face? I mean, we sang kudos to Minister Maraj. How does this, what are some of the obstacles that you are facing? Like, you know, are more people assisting you?
Yeah, well, that's it. Minister Maraj, as the Dr. Sharma said, I mean, he's really hands-on in the ministry. He, without sounding too political, he really wanted to get this done. Okay. You know, he assembled the team immediately. Letters went out to all other ministries, for permanent secretaries, right on to put these point people in place to actually set up. Because it's such a large project, one of the main issues was actually getting access to all the ministries, all the public buildings. And we have been able to, we have fantastic response from all the rest of ministries. 75 to 80% have already appointed their point person, and we are in the process of actually getting it done. One of the main problems has to do with the Trinidad culture. We are not really accustomed with dogs. We are not really accustomed with these large dogs, as is the case in the UK or the US. So one of the key issues and problems we'll be facing is actually sensitizing the people of the country, and for this orientation. Through that, again, we're working with Dr. Sharma, with the Guide Dogs Association, with the Blind Welfare Association, and we're actually running through the campaign. Signs are going to put up, programs are going to actually be
And when is that campaign going to start?
The campaign was actually launched on Wednesday last, right? And that was actually the launch program. We have been sending out the brochures and the posters and all the required
and it's
information.
being sort of branded by the Ministry of Food Production, or as a sort of a team of ministries?
It's the Ministry of Food Production is the spearhead, pretty much, and the driving force in terms of the ministry. But again, because it's all government buildings, we are really looking forward to the support that we are getting from the other ministries.
And when you spoke about sort of things like having to bring the dogs in and stuff, it really makes sense for food production and in a way to sort of guide that or be the lead.
You know, when you look at these things politically, a minister will do something that will benefit his ministry and his line. This has nothing to do with the line of agriculture.
In a sense, true.
So I must, you know, again, there's no politics here, but I must thank the minister. He stepped out of his line, literally, to do something to help the visually challenged in our country. And for that, I'm very thankful.
And you know what I'm thankful for? In a weird way, I believe this will bring a cohesiveness back to our community. And what do I mean by that? Studies have shown that, you know, people have longer lives with their pets, even though this is a working dog.
It has been proven.
A sense of sort of awareness, as you're saying, that the campaign will bring, and that the therapeutic aspect that animals can bring to the table as well. Just really, really quickly, because we have to wrap up now, where is the campaign going to let people know how they can tap into the service?
You can contact the Ministry of Food Production, the People's Issues Unit, of which I'm the head, at 628-1485 or 628-1487.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. This is Morning Prime.
Every Wednesday is Sports Wednesday on TV4. Join us for the hardest-hitting sports talk show on all your favorite sport topics. Stream it live on www.gisltv.tt/TV-4. You can tweet the panel at Our TV, #Sports Wednesday, or you can call in and share your views. Watch Sports Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4.
Tuesdays, join us for Lowy Talk, a riveting entertainment talk program on TV4. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Tweet the panel at Our TV4, #Lowy Talk, or call in and share your views. Come, Lowy Talk on Lowy Talk, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4. Fridays, join us for Test Talk as we look at opportunities for students and adults after they have pursued secondary education. Join moderator Tony Dial and the panel of professionals as they discuss the many opportunities for tertiary education and skills training available to you. Don't miss Test Talk, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4, Our TV.
We at TV4 believe that sport is not getting the media platform it deserves. Hence the reason we came up with 4 Sports. I'm Wayne Cunningham.
And I'm Gregory McBurney. Are you tired of seeing 5 minutes of sports crammed into a newscast? That's why we here at TV4 dedicate an entire half hour to sport. In-depth analysis, highlights, and even discussion of a trending topic.
4 Sports, weeknights from 7:30 p.m. right here on TV4.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Morning Prime. I'm Nicola Barreto. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us this morning. It's Monday, so some of you may have dropped the kids off to school already. You're back at home relaxing, having that cup of tea or second cup of coffee. Maybe you're picking up your shift a little bit later on today and you just wanted some downtime. Well, I guess the best time to do it is on a Monday. You know what they say about Mondays, right? Best day of the week. Well, talking about best, I'd like to introduce to Morning Prime, Dean Williams. Good morning to you, Dean.
Good morning, Nicola.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I have not seen you in forever.
That's right.
Yes?
It's been a while.
Dean Williams is a fantastic musician. Some of you may remember him from the days of Ecstatic with dreads.
Yes, my hair days.
And playing the bass. But, you know, as everyone, we all evolve.
That's right.
And you have evolved so nicely.
Yeah, I think it was necessary. Evolution and growth.
Yes.
I think it's all about growth and development.
Dean, tell us a little bit about yourself. For those of you may be looking on and saying, but I don't know who he is. Who is he?
Okay. Well, I'm a Trinidad musician, born in San Fernando.
Yes, good stuff.
My dad used to play the steel pan, and from an early age, there were musical instruments in the house. So I gravitated towards them pretty early, like I think about the age of 4 and a half.
Yeah.
And by the time I was like 5 years old, I was already playing music and getting music lessons and stuff. And that continued throughout childhood, primary school, high school. Was really big for me. I joined the school band, I was into sports, everything. And you know,
fast track to Ecstatic.
Yeah, right. After school was pretty serious. A real important period was in 1990, the year of the course, when I actually began playing music professionally, and I began playing with Denise Plummer. So she was the first person who actually gave me a break in the business. And from there I went on to other bands, Atlantic. I played with Jala, Tricanal. I was a musician at the Rituals label, Rapso. I also worked with General Grant, a lot of these guys at Kiskity, remember, CSP.
So you're well known, Dean. So
yeah.
For those of you who didn't know then, well, you know now. He is really good at what he does. Fantastic musician. I know a lot has been taking place within the last couple of years.
Since last we met. A lot of stuff has happened. I took a break from the soca scene after playing with Marshall and Destra, and I began to study. So I went to UE. At first I was enrolled in pre-science program, as well as doing a EMT course. So I'm qualified as an EMT.
Excellent.
And then I went on to UTT and I completed a degree in fine arts, a BFA. The very first batch, first cohort sort of.
How did you feel about that, you know, at least coming out of being at a stage where you don't have to beat the books at night, or you're not pressed to study, even though in terms of the music that you're doing, you had a little bit of lax time. Studying, there's none.
Yeah.
How did that work out for you?
It was pretty easy for me because while I was playing music as well as doing studies and stuff, I did stuff with Berkeley online.
Right.
Between shows, I'd be running back to my hotel room and doing my homework. I did all my grades at ABRSM, Royal School. all these things. So I've been pretty much accustomed to studying and working. But to do the degree was full-time, so I had to really commit.
You had to drop everything.
Yeah, I had to put other stuff, you know.
What would you say to persons who are, you know, who want to do a degree and they may be working, maybe not necessarily a musician, but they want to basically just grab at it? It's very difficult, especially when you're supporting yourself.
It is difficult. It is a sacrifice. I also teach right now. I'm teaching at UTT and CUSTAT.
Right.
So if you're a full-time worker, that is, and you want to be like part-time student, I think CUSTAT could afford you that time to do your program. You know, it might take a couple of years longer, but I think it's fine.
How was it coming off of the soca scene for a little while?
Did
you miss it?
I missed it. I missed it at first, yeah, a lot. I missed it a lot. I missed the traveling. I missed the camaraderie, the guys, you know, hanging out with the guys, and traveling and seeing foreign culture. But when I started to study, I found that there's so much culture here in Trinidad and in the Caribbean in the courses I did at UTT that I realized there's such a wealth of information and music here.
Morning Prime is all about that, all things
Yeah.
Trinbago, and a lot of us don't know much about Trinidad and Tobago, and it's unfortunate. So maybe you could use your good office to promote.
I intend to. I'm working on several album projects at the same time, and it's going to engage our local culture in the concepts of the music.
All right, well, I have here Trini Project Jazz.
The Trini Jazz Project,
Trini Jazz, yeah, upside down.
Yeah.
Trini Jazz Project.
That's the first album, yeah.
So I don't know if we can probably just get a little bit of it there. Maybe, yeah? I'm going to do a zoom in. Trini Jazz Project.
Yes, it was
Tell me about that.
Okay, it's the first album of a series of albums done under the Pali Music record label by Michael Lau Chutong Ming from Ilan Pali.
Yeah.
He's a superb producer, arranger, writer, and he came to me and invited me along with several other musicians there that he worked with in the past to do this album. And what's so great about this album that it features us and our original music, our compositions. So of course I said yes, and I had songs waiting. I gave him a lot of songs, and we narrowed it down to 2. So my 2 songs are on the album now.
I love this, though. I love the cover. I'm seeing Vaughnette on the cover.
That's right, Vaughnette Bigford.
Tony Paul. Rodney
Anthony
Alexander.
Woodrow. That's right.
And Madupe.
Madupe
Madupe Onilu.
Right.
That's nice, though.
Right.
So this is what you've been working on for the last couple
working
months.
on my stuff.
On
in
your
the past, I did a lot of stuff for everybody else. Who's who, from A to Z.
And sometimes, Dean, you just have to kind of kick everyone to the curb in a positive way and just focus on you, just like how you did with your studies.
Of course. Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to do it for you.
That's right. Nobody could.
Yeah.
You need to do it for yourself.
So I have to ask, though, the industry, soca, the crossover, how do you feel about it? Where do you think we're at? When we look at Marshall Montano, your boy, Bungie Garland, the fact that our music, Destra, the music is out there and we're getting really good kudos.
Yep.
What do you think we're doing?
I've worked with most of those artists, and I think we're at a point, transition point, where we're going to make that breakthrough. I think it's going to happen pretty soon. I think our artists are rising to that level. I think our musicians are. So our producers, and with the technology that we have now, you know, the access that we have to our own fans and promoting ourselves, I think it's going to happen. It's beginning to happen already. Marshall and Bungie, you know, just waiting for the rest of them to come through. Also, I think in the instrumental artists with the Caribbean jazz and the pan jazz and the smooth jazz and stuff, I think we're making a breakthrough with that as well.
There as well?
Yeah, via the internet as well.
But then you see, we don't know about that. That's the thing, because we really focus on, I guess, the Grammy and the Soul Train Awards and stuff. But we have so many musicians like yourself.
That's right. Many more. Many
who
more.
are creating or breaking barriers, making an impact.
We have a lot of genres opening now as well. We have gospel, gospel jazz, all these different things.
That's excellent, though. And the thing about it, though, is based on what you would have seen or heard, Carnival 2015, Carnival 2014, do you think that we're coming back to the groove as opposed to the raga, 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 which sometimes some people internationally may find painful, huh?
What my experience is that when we do the Caribbean thing, it tends to work for the diaspora But as you said, the wider world, they want to hear, you know, really nice productions.
They want to hear music, as far as they're concerned.
So I think the Caribbean jazz has that, as well as I think more the acoustic and the live recorded stuff. Yeah. I think we are at a point now in the soca and the calypso. We're going back to the live musicians playing in the studio and stuff. And I think
that's what it's all about.
That is going to have
full circle. Before we wrap up, so what exactly are you doing at COSTAT?
Okay, well, at COSTAT and UTT, I'm a lecturer there. I teach music theory as well as the guitar, classical guitar, contemporary guitar. I have an ensemble class, so I'm pretty busy teaching and sharing knowledge.
Excellent.
And learning as well. I learn from the students. I'm learning from the other staff and lecturers.
It never ends.
It's really great.
It really never ends.
It doesn't.
I want to thank you for coming on this morning, for giving us some of your time. It's really good to see you. Hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more of your music. Who knows, maybe we can get the Trini Jazz Project to come on at some point in time and give us some strings and do a live.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would really be nice.
Okay.
Dean Williams, thank you.
Thank you, Nicola.
All the best. Thanks for being here on Morning Prime. We're going to come back with much more. Stay with us.
Psychology is a lived experience, and responding to daily challenges in a positive manner is a method for success. Tune into Psychology Live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. with host Dr. Keith Lee Kwai as we share tips and wellness skills for living in our fast-paced and connected world. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Call in to share your thoughts and views. No stigma, no negative stereotypes, just Psychology Live on TV4, our TV.
Tuesdays, join us for Lowy Talk, a riveting entertainment talk program on TV4. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Tweet the panel at our TV4, #Lowy Talk, or call in and share your views. Come, Lowy Talk on Lowy Talk, Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4. Fridays, join us for Test Talk as we look at opportunities for students and adults after they have pursued secondary education. Join moderator Tony Dial and the panel of professionals as they discuss the many opportunities for tertiary education and skills training available to you. Don't miss Test Talk, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4, our TV.
Every Wednesday is Sports Wednesday on TV4. Join us for the hardest-hitting sports talk show on all your favorite sport topics. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. You can tweet the panel at our TV, #Sports Wednesday, or you can call in and share your views. Watch Sports Wednesday every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on TV4.
And welcome back on Morning Prime. You know, of course, we do everything, all things Trimbergonian, all things Caribbean, and all things you. And of course, today we're dealing with you. Today I have in my midst Dr. Claudette Mitchell, is it?
That's
right. All right, dietitian. And of course, we're going to go on the role of dietitians in Trinidad and Tobago. So tell us something about yourself before we go on to what is the main topic for today.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Dr. Claudette Mitchell, as it was mentioned by the host. Yeah. I bring you greetings from the University of the Southern Caribbean, our president, Dr. Clinton Valley, and our vice president of academic administration, Dr. Wanda Chesney. Currently, I serve as the chair of Family and Consumer Science Department, and within that department, there are 2 degrees offered, a Bachelor of Science in Family and Consumer Science and a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. As a dietitian, basically, I serve as an educator currently in that position, but along with that, I am from Mover here. I was born and educated in Mover, and in addition, I received my training at Howard University. So I bring you greetings, and we would be talking more about the role of nutrition and dietetics in a conference hosted by the University of the Southern Caribbean on Wednesday, May 20th.
Nice. I mean, that's the real formal and like a nice ad you came out there with, Ms. Mitchell. But tell me something about what the main issues or say the main topics of the conference you're going to host.
Well, currently, the main topic is the role of the dietitian in the Caribbean region. So here we are looking at the dietitian as not only a dietitian at a hospital, but a dietitian as an educator. Mm-hmm. The dietitian also discovering various roles in research, in education, in management. Dietitian working as a pediatric dietitian. As you know, currently there is a children's hospital being built. The dietitian serving as a renal dietitian, which is a kidney dietitian, a specialty in that area, as a certified diabetes educator. So the role of the dietitian is vast. It's not just narrowed to a clinical dietitian to work in a hospital, or on the other hand, dietitians also serve as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs simply meaning they can have their own business. They can choose to open their own food establishment, whether in the form of restaurants or perhaps also a meals and wheels service in Trinidad and Tobago. But we are also looking at sharing with our Caribbean neighbors. Why is this so important? You'll find that more than 60% of the deaths in the Caribbean region is caused by the chronic non-communicable diseases. We are talking here about cancer, about diabetes, about heart disease. In Trinidad and Tobago at present, based on the Ministry of Health report card released in 2011, they indicated that cardiovascular disease, which is heart disease, contributes to 24.6% of the deaths in the nation. Then we also have diabetes and cancer contributing to 13.7% and 13.6% of the deaths respectively. When they take a look at these diseases, they found basically that these diseases are contributed basically on lifestyle. So there are behaviors that can be changed. What behaviors can be changed? We are looking here at through food very well. So moving from an unhealthy diet to a healthy diet. We also look at physical activity, moving from being physically inactive to becoming physically active.
So in that aspect, I'm sorry to cut you across.
That's okay.
But in that aspect, would it be like trainers nowadays? A lot of the gym instructors, what do you think is very like critical for them to know where diet is concerned for someone who wants to know about, you know, losing proper weight and going the healthier way? Because a lot of people tend to not understand what to eat. Okay. And, you know, as a trainer, I would think it's very important for them to know that aspect of learning how to be a dietitian in their own right.
I do agree with you there in terms of they being able to give their clients the appropriate nutrition education information. But what is also helpful is the collaboration between the trainer and the dietitian. So they can have a collaborative approach.
So it could be two.
Yes. With the collaborative approach, what you find happen, the trainer provides the training, then have a dietitian right within that gym or within the that particular area, whereby they can refer the person who comes to the gym to that individual. You see, it goes beyond that. Adopting a healthy lifestyle basically here will help the individual to make the changes, and making changes can be difficult. Change is a very small word, but it's very difficult. So they can help them to make the change, and in making the change, they can also help them to, do small steps. Perhaps if they rush every day, to start having breakfast on the go.
That is something we spoke about because as well, I get up very early, and on the go, I really try to have something to sustain me throughout the day, sometimes throughout that time of day, because I always try to mince and eat something. How important in the sense of, well, I will get back to that as soon as possible, but I want to really touch on the fact of the conference. How can people get involved in the conference? Is it just for the school, or is it for the open public to be involved? in the conference?
The conference is for the open public as well as for our Caribbean neighbors.
Yeah.
So basically, how they can go to the university's website, www.usc.edu.tt. They can also call the university at 662-2241, extension 2451. In addition, they can also look at the Facebook page. So basically, these are some ways and means that they can contact the university to attend the conference. But there is another important component within the conference. As we spoke about the chronic non-communicable diseases, there are people every day in the community, they go to different, they may have different conditions diagnosed. And as a result, someone can have high blood pressure, or they may have high blood sugar or diabetes, or they may have high cholesterol, or perhaps they may have kidney disease. They can go out as usual and enjoy themselves. So we would be addressing the fact of, one, understanding special diets in today's society, specifically geared for the food service professional. And that would be helping people to prepare healthy meals at restaurants to get to these conditions.
Well, I would always say, you know, a good way out of anything is to always eat healthy and be fit. And I must say that conference is a very good conference to be in. So Trinidad and Tobago, you can see us in the SBCS, is it? Or
USC. USC.
Right, sorry. So we'll be right back on Morning Prime. Don't go anywhere.
Psychology is a lived experience, and responding to daily challenges in a positive manner is a method for success. Tune into Psychology Live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. with host Dr. Keith Lee Kwai as we share tips and wellness skills for living in our fast-paced and connected world. Stream it live on www.gisltd.tt/TV-4. Call in to share your thoughts and views. No stigma, no negative stereotypes, just Psychology Live on TV4, our TV.
Choose